Truth Seeker and/or its affiliates are not responsible for any strange phenomena that may occur during or after listening to this podcast, which may include the following: heightened senses of awareness, psychic abilities, UFO sightings, alien contact, time loss, out-of-body experiences, ringing in the ears, ESP, lucid dreaming, increased synchronicities, astral projection, telepathy, stronger intuition, levitation, miraculous healings, and/or remote viewing. Please be advised to listen at your own discretion.
Won't you come and take me away? I just wanna be with you. Won't you come and take me away? To a place to walk on troubled seas, faith to stand when I don't believe. I just wanna be with you. Won't you come and take me away? I just wanna be with you. Won't you come?
You are now locked into the Truth Seeker podcast.
Gargoyles, psychics, everything's ungodly. Dark Savage.
Streaming live at truthseeker.com.
She's not a Christian.
Give it up, y'all.
Your portal to the paranormal, esoteric, and all things spiritual.
She's tampering in dark sided stuff.
And now, your host, Truth Seeker.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Truth Seeker podcast. I'm excited to be live with you guys tonight. And that's one thing about the podcast. We go live so that we can open up the phone lines. And if anybody has any questions, any requests or anything like that, you guys can call in. The number is streaming across the bottom of the screen on all the platforms, and it's also in all the descriptions. So if you have a question for me, you guys want to call in, I get messages from you guys all the time throughout the week. So if you guys want to say hello, call in. Tonight is the night to do that. We are available. So going to have an awesome podcast tonight. As always, I love to speak to interesting people, and I like to mix in the message of spirituality and awakening and religion and things like that. We love to talk about these topics on the show. So tonight is going to be the same thing. We're going to be covering the same ground, and tonight's show is a little bit different. We got a special guest, and I'm going to go ahead and bring her on, and we're going to be speaking with Marguerite Perrin from ABC's Trading Spouses, a.k.a. the God Warrior. How are you doing, Marguerite?
Oh, I'm doing great on this Sunday, wonderful, hot summer day.
Oh, yeah. Down here in the South with all the humidity and the mosquitoes, right?
It is. It's hot here. Humidity's terrible.
Yeah. That's one thing about going up north. I like it. Even just a couple states, just going up north, the weather just feels 100% better. Even just going to like Atlanta or something, it feels totally different than being down here, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi.
I agree. I agree with you 100%.
So I wanted to, before we get into the interview and we get into the discussion tonight, I wanted to see if you remember me, because it's been about 10 years now. And I called you up and wanted to get an autograph. I wanted to get a picture with you and an autograph. I had a concert in Louisiana, and I went down there to see my family because we're originally from Ponchatoula as well. And I went down there, and I hit you up, and you invited me and my friends over for a cookout. I was doing Christian rap.
You know, this is so funny. I didn't know this until right now. I know. It's terrible. I'm terrible. I'm not terrible. Now that you say it, it like, yes, ding, ding, ding. Yes, I remember now. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So we came over and spent the day with you.
You didn't tell me that. Yeah, you gave me a CD?
Yeah.
Did you give me a CD?
Yeah.
Of your music?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have ago, and we actually played that to do some across the floor warm-ups one year. So this is our second year here, so we did use that. I didn't know that was you, but nice to see you again.
I know. I look totally
too
different.
funny.
I look totally different. It's been over 10 years.
Tell me.
Yeah, cool. It would have sucked if you didn't remember me, though.
Oh,
It would have
yeah,
sucked. I'm like, hey, you don't remember me?
no. Oh, I know. No. I had to tell my husband Barry. He did, because he's got a great memory, and when he saw you a while ago, he never said nothing, so he doesn't remember you either. You look different. You do
Totally
look
different.
Yeah. You aged a little bit, but you still look so young.
It's
and
the
up.
beard. It's the beard.
I so remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it though.
So yeah, I mean, we had
You can rock it.
we had a time, we had a.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say we had a good time hanging out with you that day. I was telling my friends we were coming over to meet you. Cause
I've had the pleasure. Can you hear me?
yeah, there's just a little bit of delay back and forth. It's all good. So we had
that was like fun. Did we cook for you? Did we cook that day?
Oh
Or did we
yeah.
do anything?
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys had a cookout and we came over there and tore it up.
I'm
Totally.
still living in the same place. So yeah, well, same house, same everything. It's just we actually have I have a dance studio an hour away from my home now, a little bit in a different direction. Barry, he came over. Remember, he came over and he had the CD, and it was like, you'll remember me now. That just brings back memories. He was sneaky. He didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
We got to do that again.
For sure, definitely. So I was telling all my friends that we were going over to meet you, and nobody believed me because everybody had seen the show. And I was like, dude, we're going over there to hang out. We're gonna go meet her. They're like, no, we're not. And then we pulled up in the driveway, and it's the same house from the TV show. And they're like, oh my God, we're actually here. So yeah, it's fun.
Yes, same house, same everything. It's so funny because one of the camera people upstairs in the bedroom, well, the first show, I kind of like scared her. Anyway, she put scared camera girl. Okay. So when we did the second show, she came back. So I have her name autographed in my house. So it's kind of cool to, and actually I ran into, I just got a little note from a guy that was one of the camera crew guys, and he was going to be in New Orleans. And he said, haven't seen you in about 11 years. Do you remember that I'm the Mormon guy that was in one of the production crew back in Boston? I'd love to see y'all again. So anyway, this has been a pleasant surprise. I had you and him in the same week, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I wanted to kind of give everybody the backstory that basically I got when we was over there hanging out with you, talking, just picking your brain about the whole experience. And a lot of people don't know, what happened on the back end because people see it. And a lot of people got inspired that you took a stand. There's like, what? She wasn't having it. All of this stuff going on. She took a stand. But I was shocked to find out at the time that you're not even really a super religious person, that you were just kind of pushed to the edge and you grabbed to, what you knew to be true. And all that came out. So like a lot of people watching, I guess they thought that you were.
I was
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
like a religious fanatic is what they were probably thinking. I've always had God in my life. I was baptized Catholic, but I go to a non-denominational church. I go to all churches. It depends on where I'm at. I'll visit any. But I was not a Bible thumping religious fanatic. I'm pretty open, and I'm more tolerable than I came off and what I looked like on the show. I don't really particularly line up with like per se religion and like I don't know. I'm just me, but I do believe in God. I give him praise for everything that has happened in my life, and I give him all the glory for like bad times and things that if I didn't have him, I would have never made it. But I was like, oh my goodness, if this is going to be a religious thing, why did you pick me? Why didn't you just put a preacher's wife or someone that was well read and like could quote the Bible? I mean, all this kind of, the first show that I went on, he actually was so well read. He could like quote the Bible. He was he knew a lot of things. And so it's like, I was uncomfortable, but I didn't let them know how uncomfortable some of the situations that they wanted to put me in that I would be. I wasn't going to go. I'm just not an astrologist. I just don't do those kind of things. Not that I've never not done it. I've done it before. It's not like I've never done these things, but I just felt uncomfortable. And I'm one of these people, I don't like to be pushed. If I don't want to do something, I don't want to do something. And so, I don't know, God just kind of revved up in me, and I did feel that way, and I felt uncomfortable, and I do stand my guard. And once I step foot and I say I'm going to stick to it. So my word was there. If you don't like stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. So that's kind of me.
Yeah, and they were just trying to put you in these weird scenarios and these weird situations to try to get a reaction.
Put me in some uncomfortable. I had told them I didn't want to do something. And they got the reaction. I mean, I guess that's why they had the ratings that they had.
Yeah.
I just wasn't calculating enough to see it all play out. I'm just like gullible and believing it. And I really honestly felt bad for the guy, the first guy that I went with, because it's like everything was already planned. And so it looked like he planned this. And I was like so angry with him because I was like, I'm not having anything to do with this. And he didn't really have a choice because it was already set up, so I kind of felt bad for him, but he was a really nice, cool guy. I've talked to him since then, and I didn't talk to the wife after the first show until many years later.
Yeah.
And it's been recent years, in the last, I would say 3 years, that we've talked and we've become, the second husband, I don't care if I ever see him again. If he's out there and he's watching this, I don't ever want to see you again. I pray for you still.
So tell us a little bit about the filming process, because I was shocked to kind of find out that ABC came in and rented the vacant house next to you guys and and that's where they kept all their equipment and the film crew and everybody stayed in the house next door, right?
Yeah. Isn't that odd? They get a house that's close and they stay in there all night, overnight. But what you don't see is that no one actually stays in the house with you. So if there's conflict, like I had conflict on the second show, we stayed up all night arguing and talking and arguing about things. And when the camera crew came in the morning, we were just sitting in the living room. And what they didn't know, but they knew later, well, we had been arguing all night long. So it's not really a comfortable situation. Okay. Not the first husband, the first husband, it wasn't like that. We went to bed, we did things, we went to sleep, and it was normal. And he was even though we disagreed with each other, he was a really nice, cool dude. Okay. He just was a nice guy. But the second husband just was he hated the color of my skin. He knew who I was when I walked in the door. I didn't have any idea who he was. And he was just we're Southern hospitality. So it's even if we don't like someone and they come over, you still make them feel comfortable. I wasn't treated that way. The second show, I was not treated that way. The neighbors were really wonderful and gracious to me, but he was just very ugly to me. So I don't know. I guess he thought in his mind, he was thinking, oh, they're putting you with an opposite, but he wasn't necessarily my opposite. They put me with him because they knew that I was outspoken and I would speak up to him. Mm-hmm. But anyways, that was a little, I thought he was going to kill me. So it was I was okay, you're getting a watered down version of me at his house. But religion's something the first one, I know I'm getting y'all mixed up because I'm saying first and second show because I did 2 shows.
Yeah.
The first husband, the religious show, he didn't push anything on me, and it made me look like I was pushing going to church I did. I wanted to go to church that day because I was uncomfortable and I felt that was my comfort zone. And so I did change everything and we went to a church. But I'm not as closed-minded as everybody I would come off. I'm definitely like that. Matter of fact, I'm kind of like a free spirit. I'm not really judgmental of what others believe. I had a German exchange student that lived with me for a year and he's been back ever since. And he's actually atheist and he lived in my house and he comes back but he'd go to church with us. He'd do it as we did, but it wasn't one of those things. I didn't convert him. Hasn't changed. He would do it to because he kind of considered me another mom, but he did say, "Oh boy, Margaret, if my family saw you in that first show, they probably wouldn't have let me come to your house." Okay, so it's like, anyways, it's all good. It's all good. It's New Year's later. It's all good.
Oh yeah. So whenever we was down there, you were telling me about some paranormal stuff that actually did happen behind the scenes that didn't make it onto the show. Some creepy things that were going on in the house. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. My room, like 3 o'clock in the morning, they had a heat wave in Boston, and they don't have air conditions there because it's like always cool. And they had a book propped up to the window, and just because it had gotten hot, the heat wave, and 3 o'clock in the morning, I hear wham, and I woke up, and it was like they had lighting down in the room, and a little bit of it was smoking, and a little bit of the carpet, like has been smoking a little bit of a singeing. So anyways, the guy that I was just talking about a few minutes ago, he was the camera crew, and they're like in the garage with camera crew. And so I got up to the camera and I said, "Look, somebody's got to come in here right now." I woke up and there's some little smoke going on in here, and I am on the third floor of this house. I'm kind of freaked out up here. So that was one thing. So it's kind of a little bit different. So it was a little bit, and then on the way home, what you don't see when you're going home is that I'm flying back, and they had like a delay, and so it was bad weather. So when I'm getting back, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So it looks like everybody in my family's up and waiting. It's not quite like that. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. My granddaughter was definitely sleeping. So the way you cut and edit, I'm like, man, if you're gonna cut and edit me, take 100 pounds off of me. Don't take 100. Don't take it off my character, but it's okay. So that was one. There was a couple things. There's a lot of different little things.
So after,
and it's funny because I can go. Yeah,
go ahead. You good?
No, I was. It's funny because some of the things I said, I was like so serious about everything I was saying. And it's like, now it's gotten to be, I went to New York, and there was a show where they like had my sound bits of what things I say, and they made it into a drinking game. And I was like, whoa. So it's been gargles, and I can't get psychics, and like, cause I guess cause of my gap, I say things totally different. I think it's normal. They've made songs and different little things, and then they like quote it, but they don't tell me at first. They wait till they like talk to me a while, and they're like, "We don't want to freak you out, but I want you to hear what my phone does," and it'll be like my voice, and I'm like, I don't even remember saying that, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, I've actually the new intro that I made for the podcast, I've got some of your clips in that as well. It's classic, man. It's classic stuff, man. Yeah, I'll send it to you. You'll be able to you'll be able to hear it when we're done, like, because it's going to be on the intro. But it's cool. It's cool. So after the show, everything kind of changed for you, right? You know, small town of Ponchatoula, Louisiana, and then you're being flown out to Boston. You're being flown out
correctly too.
to see Jay Leno. You were on the Jay Leno show, the Tyra Banks show. Talk a little bit about this.
Well, when they called me up, I thought it was a joke. Okay, I was like, Jay Leno, what? Okay, so they flew me out there, and they had somebody, I don't know where he was. It's a young guy. They called me up and they said, "Hey, there's this dude, and he made this bobblehead of you. Do you want?" He's like making money off of you. Do you want to like shut it down? And I was like, "What? No." He's a college student. Oh, why would I shut it down? If he can make some money off of that, it's no difference than what the TV show did. I mean, come on, they made money off of me. Yeah. No, let him do. So he did, and it sold. I don't know what it was, like $960, $980. I don't know what. I don't remember. A bobblehead that he just made out of nothing, and when you press a button, it would be things that I would say, and it was my voice. So everybody bid on it, and I heard a lot of different people bid on it, and then Jay Leno's staff bought it from someone, and they actually brought the person that they bought it from on the show, but it was like a private thing because she wanted to meet me. And then She said she was just compelled. God told her to buy this bobblehead, and she did. That was a true story. And I was like, what? 900. She says, I know my husband almost. And she was a truck driver's wife. Okay, it wasn't like she had a big job of something.
Yeah.
She says, no, I'm telling you, I was compelled to do it because I saw something, like my heart went out to you, and I wanted to give this to you because I thought you were supposed to have it. But Jay Leno bought it from her. She got her money, and then he gave it to me on his show. And Tyra was scared of me at first, I think. Okay, like, I mean, she was like, she was like, oh boy, but she's beautiful in person. She's really beautiful. And once we broke the ice, well, like Jay Leno, I think he thought I was going to be stuffy. And when I get nervous, I say crazy things. And so I was pretty like radical when I was on there with him. And matter of fact, he's going to be on the coast, and I haven't seen him in all these years. And I'm going to go to the coast and see and go see him his show.
Oh yeah.
But I was in a green room, and that night it was called Estrogen Night, and so it was Alanis Morissette, myself, and oh my gracious, with Roseanne Barr. So Roseanne Barr went past the room, and when she saw me, she started screaming, "Oh my God, that's that crazy woman! You're that crazy woman!" And I like look, and I like when I recognized, because she had blonde hair and she had these shades on, and she had lost like a lot of weight. I didn't know who she was, but the voice, of course, is still there. And I looked at her and I was like, "Oh my gracious! Never in a million years would I think you would recognize me and I wouldn't recognize you. And besides that, you're calling me crazy. You're the one that did the national anthem." And she said, "You know what? You know how many years ago that was?" But that's what she's remembered by. People say that. She said also, well, I guess we're in the same boat because people are going to remember my clips and that's what I'm going to go down as, you know? So anyway, it was an interesting meeting. I got to do some really wonderful things. I got to go to a Celebrity Texas Hold'em tournament at the Palms, and that was interesting. That was really interesting. There's a drag queen in New York that like did an act of me and Cher, and that Candace Kane. She's like a famous. I didn't know anything about this. I was in New York, and she invited me there. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. She's like a Heidi Klum beautiful woman, and that was interesting. But you know, the biggest thing is even the gay community. Their question with me, they feel like they can ask a religious question to me, and so people that maybe that would not be reached, like think that it's okay to ask me questions. And I guess that's what kind of God did this crazy show or whatever, that I'm able to relate to maybe people that would be unlikely, that would not go to just like to a preacher or something. And they always want to ask me, you know, my view on religion and the gay. That was one of the big questions, the gay community and how I feel. What do I feel? And I just believe that God loves all people, and that's between that person and God. And that's just, it might not be the politically religious thing that people are supposed to say, but that's just how I feel in my heart, and that's what I speak from. So whatever.
I get that.
So I've made a lot of wonderful. Yeah, the biggest, I guess, the most hurtful thing is the hardest people that were like very, very just really strong and very judgmental were the Christian community. The Christian community, to me, was just not. They were very hard and very critical, just terribly critical, instead of being like embracing, and you know, they're ready to just like pounce you, you know. And so I learned a lot. That's what I learned from that show. I learn from that show. I mean, it was just people that you would not even think that were just like embracing and open to hear what you had to say, whether they believe, you know, agreed with you or not. But it was those Christian people that were ready to point the finger and like say something about what I said were the most critical. So anyways, I learned that. That was like an interesting thing. So it's kind of like, I just take it with a grain of salt.
You got to.
When I met you, was my daughter still alive when I met you?
She was.
Had my daughter? She was. Ashley was there?
Yes.
I was trying to like think of the time. Like, well, this is like a hello from heaven today, because it's like I meet very few people that met us on the show and actually met Ashley. And so that was like, yeah. So I have had a lot of people call in and or try to get in contact with me, and they'll say, you know, it's people that do not have God in their life. and I do understand it, and they'll say, okay, God warrior, because I didn't give that name to me. People gave that name to me.
Yeah.
God warrior, since this happened with your daughter, she died, how do you feel about God now? Do you still believe in God? And do you think because he allowed this to happen, or do you feel any differently? And I guess from being out in the public and you're out there, it's like, and especially with my stance and how I felt, I really, I am not going to lie. I was mad. Ooh, I was mad. I was mad at God. I was mad at the world. I was mad at everything. And then putting you in there, it's like I was getting hit with these questions and then crazy things. People would say crazy, but you get immune to it. So I can just tell you, God carried me through that. I don't know how you don't die the moment things like that happen to you, but he definitely was there, and he had my back, and he held me when I couldn't even like deal with anything. So my faith has grown stronger through death and pain. So I'm not saying I don't have bad days still, but you live because you don't have a choice, and I wasn't going to let even death of something so painful steal my joy. So anyways, a woman called me up and said, hey, we have a dance studio. And I'm like, do I look like a dance teacher? Do I look like the epitome of whatever? I'm like, oh, you know what? If Abby Lee can do it, I can do it. So she said, God told me I'm going to hand the studio over to you. And I'm like, I said, I'm not the dance teacher. My daughter's not here. I have a younger daughter. And she said, no, you're supposed to do this. I didn't have but a weekend to decide to do it. And so this was 2 years ago. We opened the studio. I wish you could see it because I would give you a tour. It's a beautiful studio. And I'm telling you, I'm sitting here right now talking to you, and I'm going, this is definitely a God thing, because there's no way that this all would have happened, because after Ashley's death, Barry and I both quit our jobs. We stopped working. I closed the studio. We were the rock bottom, like totally just did not do anything. And it like, we really just didn't really have a lot of zest for life at that point. And if you'd see the recital and what I did, and what we did, we put on in this little Franklinton town of Louisiana, we put as closest to a Broadway show as we could possibly do, and it was wonderful. So we're touching some lives in some different ways. And even had your music for across the floor. I'll have to send you that.
That's awesome. I think you hit the nail on the head, though. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's just being with this attitude of gratitude, even to thank God for the good times, rejoice in the good times, but even in the hard times as well, whenever the rain comes, and to still, have that faith, to still, keep the faith for him to help get you through it. I mean, it's only going to hurt you to kind of, get bitter and get mad at God or whatever, and try to do it by yourself and kick him to the side. But whenever you can be thankful and see him in the hard times, man, that's what the true faith and the Christian experience is truly about.
It is. I'm telling you, after the show, it was like, I'm not kidding you. It's like I had the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we were just getting like bombarded with like positive, negative, all different types of things. I mean, and then after Ashley's death, it's like I did grow. I mean, I totally grew in faith. I had to. I didn't have a choice. And it came to a time no one could really talk to me because I'm so strong-willed, and it's my Italian in me. I'm all over the place. But it was like, it came a time that it was just me and God. And as quirky as the show was, God placed different people in my life. And it was like, and it put me in a position where it's like people that I had touched would not have been, was some people that would have never, ever like related to like watching some TV evangelists. It takes somebody radical and crazy or whatever. And I have in a small way touched some people. Okay. And if they were looking at me and seeing how I was going to crumble after Ashley's death, actually they were like the empowerment of how it helped me to get through, because I didn't really want to talk to anybody that like knew me or knew me. I didn't want someone to feel sorry for me. So it was those strangers that were from the show that would contact me, and they would say, look, I'm really sorry about your daughter. I'm sorry about your daughter. But they had questions about the show. And so they still ask questions about the show. And it's like, it was those people that helped, that God placed in my path. It's really weird how God has a domino effect in your life. Who would have thought a crazy show, a reality TV show, would put me in a place where I'd meet strangers, and they were what had me get out of bed after her death, more so than even friends and family that I was close to, because they didn't know her. And so I could like have a separate thing of talking about, it wasn't painful to talk to a stranger. Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it.
It wasn't as personal. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss. She was an awesome person, and it was awesome to meet her, and you know, your entire family that you welcomed us in just to hang out, man. You didn't even know who we were. You didn't ever know who we were, and you invited us over for a freaking barbecue. Me and some weird guys. You know.
Oh, I'm one of these people. I color outside the box. You know, I'm not one of those people that like plain vanilla. Put it like this: my friends, I could not have a party with all my friends, because my friends, none of them would like each other, because they're all from one extreme to the other.
Oh yeah.
But I just do not like hoity-toity. I mean, I've done those things. I would so much rather a barbecue with like a total stranger come in and just, if there's a park bench and I'm sitting on it and there's somebody with me, I'm gonna know who they are. So anyways, I loved that. I loved it when y'all came and did that. Mm-hmm. And you weren't scared of me. You came. Most of the time people are like scared of me. And I'm like, I'm really not like that. Yeah. I'm loud, but I'm not really like that.
That's the weird thing, because I think a lot of people think that if they met you, and this is just from the show, that you're going to sit them down and corner them off and start quoting Bible scriptures just from the show. But then whenever we met you, you're like Southern hospitality, down to earth. You didn't mention anything about that. We had to kind of, you know what I'm saying, pick your brain, you know what I'm saying, just to get you to talk about that stuff, you know?
Yes. I mean, you definitely know when you come in my house that God is present there. I mean, like right now, when you came, I didn't have this on the wall, but I took all of Ashley's costume jewelry and I made this huge cross that's with broken mirrors from her dance studio. It's really cool, and it's on my wall. But it's not like I am like, you know, babble. And look, I've had every kind of, after the show, every kind of denomination came to my house and had to come pray with me.
Oh my God.
The Mormons came 2 days in a row. Okay. And finally, like after, like, I'm like, look, people are sending you out here for a joke. But I'll tell you what, you come back here tomorrow, we're going to have dinner and we're going to sit down and we're going to talk. Okay. And so even whoever's out there that sent those Mormons to my house, something great came out of it, because every year it became I have a whole list of different Mormon guys that come to the house over the years that was meant for like to be sarcastic and funny, like to save me. And it wound up being a wonderful thing. We've had some great friendships form out of that. So
whenever you were
I've had some people from California.
Whenever you were talking whenever you were talking about the drag queen show, and whenever we was over there, you told a story about going to the bathroom at the drag queen show. I want you to talk a little bit about that, because that cracked me up.
Oh my great! The drag queen show was. Well, they had this guy, and I can't even think his name. Which part are you talking about? Are you talking about not the guy from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy? Do you know that guy?
No, you were talking about how you went to the bathroom, and then you were in the bathroom, and then a bunch of people, like the gay community, just knew you were in there. And
they came to the bathroom with me. Oh yes. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, he came in there, and they were all up in there, and I was like, I mean, it was just like, it was the most craziest thing, because I'm thinking I'm in there incognito, okay? And one of the people that were there, can't think of his name. He's a famous person, and my daughter Ashley was with me that night. They all came in the bathroom with me. It was the most craziest thing. I was like, what is the deal here? I thought I was in a men's bathroom. I didn't know if I was a men's bathroom, women's bathroom. I didn't know what I was in. Everybody was in the bathroom. It was like, I was like, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing here, but we're not holding hands and we're not singing Kumbaya. Okay. So what is going on here? I was a little bit taken back, but it was a great time. Actually, this person, her name is Candace Kane, and she came up to me before the show started, and she says, listen, I don't want to offend you, but I do a thing, and I don't want to offend you in any kind. I'm like, girl, I am not offended by any means. And they started laughing. They said, she got on the microphone and she goes, yeah, she brought her husband here and he's holding on to her for like dear life because he's uncomfortable in here. And I started laughing. I was like, that is so not true. That is so funny. I mean, it was just funny. And she did this big thing on it. And it was really nice. And then later, I find out many years later, she's dating with Jenner and I don't know, with Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, this is a famous person. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Act me. And she's dating Jenner. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty Caitlyn Jenner. So I'm like, okay, one day maybe I'll see her again. But it's been an interesting little life. I'm not saying I would ever trade again now. I'm telling you, keep what you got. That's what I tell everybody. Keep what you got, not even for a week, not for no amount of money, just keep what you got. Don't even like trade.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you too, because whenever this happened, I think MySpace was big at the time. Like that's where the internet was, and it was MySpace. And so, like, you know what I'm saying? The internet has changed so much within the last 10 years. And like, so now, you know what I'm saying? People have access to you. And so talk a little bit about the crazy people like in your inbox and people trying to message you or trying to call you and things like that. Like me, I was one of them.
You want to see me. Oh no, I have had some crazy. Matter of fact, I had something this morning, and this person keeps like, he was like, "Oh, you big gap tooth woman, I really like you." Something, and I'm like, right back, "What is wrong with you? Are you sick?" I mean, like, but he's serious, okay? And I'm like, I'm thinking he's just like, what? Crazy stuff, okay? And I told my husband, I said, look at this message. And he goes, tell him you're in church right now. I started laughing. I have had, I have a group of people that would come and they would call themselves the Sunflower Kids. And they would drop sunflowers at my house every so often. And I never met them. And over the years, it was like they would come into town and they would just leave these flowers and write a note. Hey, we just want to send you something. It was just so sweet. I finally got to meet them. And came over and they just happened, and I happened to be there. And I said, hey, let's go have breakfast somewhere. So we went to go have breakfast, and I didn't know it. They had put us on live, and then they left. They lived in Lafayette, somewhere else in South Louisiana, somewhere else. Anyways, so my husband goes, oh my gracious. They had went to the bathroom in my house and they were videoing inside my bathroom. This is the God Warriors bathroom on the internet. I was like, oh my gracious, it was crazy. But they were like precious, but they were funny. And they were like, we don't want to alarm you. And I'm like, okay. And so they started reenacting, and that the entire show, they would like, one of them would say, the other would say the other. And I'm like, thank God y'all didn't show me this the first hour that I would have been a little heepy jeepy over here. And then another time, this was not an inbox, but I went to a Britney Spears concert. I brought my granddaughter to a Britney Spears concert, and I was just up in my seats, okay? And it was during the intermission, a little intermission part, and I'm standing up there with a friend with my granddaughter, and all of a sudden, this group of girls that was on the ground floor started screaming, like they saw a movie star or something. And so I'm turning around because I'm thinking Britney Spears is behind me, okay? And when I did, they were like, can we come by you? Like they acted like I had bodyguards or something up there. I was just in my seat. Can we come by you? And I'm like, I'm looking behind me. They were talking about me. They like recognized me and they come running up there. I started laughing. I was like, oh my gracious. I said, they thinking that they coming over here taking pictures of me. And then all of a sudden it was like a mosh pit of young girls and Abercrombie guys. That's my age that like kind of like that kind of thing. I don't know. Funny. But I like really like that because it was like they took it lightly. They didn't take it so serious, like looked at oh my, this religious fanatic. But they actually got me. You know what I'm saying? They understood, and they weren't like troubled by anything. Now when I look at it, I'm like, I don't see nothing wrong with what I said.
Louisiana's different, man. Southern Louisiana's different.
So how are you doing? Yeah, how's your life?
I'm doing great. I'm still living in the same spot in Alabama. So all my family's down there in Ponchatoula still. You know, my grandmother lives right down the road from you. Everybody, so they still over there. So I wanted to I guess play a game, and this is something I just thought of, and it's gonna be cool.
I like this show.
it's gonna be cool to me just because I'm from the area. So this is what I'm gonna do, because I used to live in like every city around Ponchatoula. I lived in all of them. I'm gonna name the city, and you tell me the first thing that comes to mind
Okay.
for that city. And these are places that I lived, and I just want to see what you say. Okay, Ponchatoula. First thing comes to mind. Ponchatoula.
First thing that comes to my mind.
About Ponchatoula,
You
yeah.
talking about? Yeah. First thing that comes to my mind, Strawberry Festival. My daughter was a Strawberry Festival queen, and we have the best strawberries. We have them chocolate dipped. We have them fried. We do strawberry beignets, strawberry beer. I love strawberries. And we have a alligator hardhide caged, caged up in the town. I don't think anything of it, okay? But everybody you have an alligator like in the middle of town? Yes.
Yep.
We're known as the antique city, but we don't have as many antiques anymore. And if you've ever been to Paul's Cafe, he has the best greasy breakfasts. I love them. That's like a renowned place, and they have the best strawberry daiquiris. Let's see. We're Ponchatoula. The word Ponchatoula means like the moss, the hanging moss, and it's an Indian name. And most people don't pronounce it right, but you can tell you're from there because you say it right.
Mm-hmm.
People like to say Pocahontas and everything else. I'm like
Ponchatoula.
Yes.
Ponchatoula.
So it's a quaint little town. I would describe it kind of like it looks like a little Norman Rockwell painting. It's small town. Oh, and Man Shack's right there.
Man Shack.
Yeah.
We have
an alligator. We have an alligator farm, and so that's Ponchatoula.
All right.
When you go back, what do you go do there? Like, what is the thing? Like, is there?
You know what?
When you go back to the town that you have to do?
And I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know if you remember this, but you should. My mind always goes back to DNR. Do you remember DNR? Down there by the church on Highway 22.
Do you remember? They used to have the best cheeseburgers.
They had
DNR.
awesome shakes. Yeah, they had awesome ice cream shakes when I was a kid. Man, that's what I remember.
Yes.
My
I used to
grandmother.
live on.
Go ahead.
I used to live on Thibodeau Road, so I used to live out, but I live in town. But what about Hi Ho? Do you ever did you ever like Hi Ho barbecues?
I almost got beat up at Hi Ho. Yep.
You got beat up at Hi Ho. Oh my gracious! Well, boy,
Bootsie's.
Hi Ho has. Bootsie's. Well, listen, Bootsy. Listen, it's so funny you say that. Bootsy, my house was Bootsy's house.
Oh wow.
That was he built that house. Well, he lived in that house. And Bootsy's has the best red beans and rice. My husband says anyways. I don't really eat that, but
yeah, the best po' boys definitely. The best po' boys definitely. Yeah, my grandmother used to own Club 22. The bar.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right there by the mill. Yes. What do we have new? We have a couple new things that are in town. We have a Locaretta now.
They're awesome.
When's the last time you
came? Yeah. I went there. They're good.
Yes, and we have a Walmart now, huh? Isn't that crazy? They tried to not get it. They got one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we have in Robert. We have it's a fancy campground, and I had the pleasure of going to it this past weekend, and it's really, really nice. But I'm not a camper, but it was beautiful. So if you're ever in Ponchatoula, and then of course in Man Shack they have Middendorf's that has the thin catfish.
My sister worked there for about 8 years or so.
Yeah. Yes, they still have that. Really? Well, they redid it. They redid a lot of things, and it's really nice. And I don't know. Did you ever go to Tin Lizzie's on the river, where on the river where you go listen to music and
The
bands would be out there?
Yeah, the prop stop.
Oh Lord, the prop stop. Oh, now the prop stop. You get in trouble at prop stop. Yeah, downtown where there's wonderful. My sister-in-law and my sister have camps down there.
Yep.
And so, the prop stops. It's a bar on the river, everybody. If you don't know what it is,
I know,
and it's they have all kinds of. They play holy board. You ever played holy board? It's these ringers, and you throw them into these 3 holes. Well, that's like a big deal. For they have holy board tournaments down there.
Mm-hmm.
So just good old fashioned crazy fun.
Yeah, it's totally different, man. It's totally different down there. And so, okay, so Hammond. What's the first thing that comes to your mind in Hammond?
That was a lot of one words. I'm sorry. I was off track. Hammond, I think of Southeastern. That's where our college is. There's a college there, so it grew with the college town. Hammond, I went to Hammond High, so it's like we were the home of the tours, and I was a Hammond tornado. So what else I think in Hammond? Hammond's grown. We have the mall there, so it's not far away. So
I missed the old mall. I missed the old mall.
Hammond?
The indoor mall.
I do miss Hammond Square Mall is gone. It's not like that anymore.
Did you ever get a corn dog at the mall?
We got a Target over there. There's a place called. They don't have that.
I know they were awesome though,
they used
right?
to have that. Wait a minute, man, you were definitely old school. They used to have the fried cheese. You remember that?
Yep.
Remember that? They used to have, what else about the old mall? We were thinking about to that. You could walk the mall and like exercise by walking in the mall. That Hammond Square was fun.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have like sock hops inside and like stay open all night, but nope, it's not the same anymore. Definitely not the same anymore. William Hammond's still there there's not really, the brown door. You remember the brown door? It was a college bar. It's still there.
Yeah.
You don't? Or the Crescent.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Mariners that has the best chicken wings, but that might be since you've been going. What about Tommy's Pizza? Do you know about Tommy's Pizza?
I'm not sure. Not right off.
No. Well, that's what I think of when I
What about
think of Hammond.
Have you ever heard?
Other than that, we have the movie.
Have you ever heard of the Devil's Circle in Hammond? The Devil's Circle over there by the college.
I have.
Supposedly it was a maze that was shaped like a pentagram over there by the college.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you told me this because I am not going to be going over there anymore. You know what? Because they were like also known that they were like saying that there was like some witchcraft going on in Hammond or Natal Benny somewhere. Like they had something that was going on, and then we had that church that.
I went to that church.
Things. It was right there in Ponchatoula.
I went to that church.
You did.
Yeah. Hosanna Assembly. Yeah.
Well, when that happened, that was happening at the same time I was doing the show. So all that was going on at the same time. So it was like that's how long ago that was. But yeah, that was right there. Yeah, that was terrible.
Yep.
Terrible.
That was crazy. I'm guessing it's in Hammond. One thing that we're definitely going back to Hammond every year now for the festival. What is it? The Renaissance Festival in Hammond.
The Hammond. Oh, I love the Renaissance Festival.
Awesome.
Have you gone there?
Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna go there every year now. It's amazing.
They have the best homemade root beer. Well, you're gonna have to like text me and I'll meet you there. Oh, isn't it amazing? I love all of it. It's wonderful, and they have some great crafters out there, and it's so authentic, and it's just interesting. If you never had a chance to do it, it's growing too. Every year they keep adding more and more and more. You want to go work it. There's a lot of people that come in just to work it.
I wish they did stuff at night. I wish they did stuff at night because it's all during the day.
They do stuff the entire day.
I think they close down.
Is it all during the day?
Yeah, it's like 6 or 7 they close down, but I figured like it would get crazy at night,
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it probably is. And it's like and they don't really have a whole lot of security kind of things. They don't have to pay for security. So that's probably why it's during the day.
Yep.
But it is really cool. Some of these people, their authentic garb is just absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a lot of stuff there too.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, see, if I could live in any time period, I would have lived in that time period.
I know it's awesome there. Awesome.
Yeah, that's really a cool thing. I forget about the there because it's like, what is the months? It's like a certain month and it runs into Strawberry Festival. Maybe
I think it's November.
It's really cold. November.
I think it's November.
Yeah. It runs for a little while, but it's really that's really like nice. That's nice. That's definitely something to go see.
Yep.
People forget about it because it's in like a little secluded place. And we've been doing this for years. I don't know how many years it's been doing it, but it's been there for a while. So it's very interesting.
What's so cool
So,
about it is we went to the Renaissance Festival here, and it was cool, but they like rent out the fairgrounds, and they just have booths up at the fairgrounds. But in Louisiana,
really?
in Hammond, like they have property that's just for that, and all the structures and the rides and everything is just for that. That's why it's so cool,
Stationary.
man.
Yeah, it stays there. It's
Year round.
It's stationary. We have another thing that's here. It's one of the churches at Christmas time they do this, and it's like I can't even think which one it is, but it's like you get on an open bus cart thing, and they take you through. But it's like a reenactments of just different things that are going, like the Bible kind of thing. But it's a live thing. And so it's like they're singing, they're caroling, they're doing all kinds of things, and they serve you hot chocolate, and they do all kinds of old-fashioned things. And it has grown. Like, I mean, haven't gone in a couple of years, but because it's like you got to wait in line for like hours. But anyways, that's an interesting thing that they've brought here, and it's kind of similar to that because everything that they have, or like it's on a piece of property where it's all stationary, and they just keep adding to it. So, but yeah, no, that Renaissance Festival is known. People come from all over to come to it. Mm-hmm. So, I know I went to, I can't even think where it was. It's somewhere right here in Louisiana, a reenactment of like the Civil War. And so the people that like do that, they also are the same people that do the Renaissance thing. So it's like really, really, really good.
It's really
so,
cool.
I know they do all kinds of things. They even have like the turkey legs,
yeah,
and made root beer, and all the things that they're making, and what's it called with the swords? What's that
jousting?
called?
They do the jousting.
Yeah, they did the jousting. That was really cool. And then they have like the jousting for like the kids, the make believe one where they like let them get on the thing that's kind of like a zip line.
Oh yeah. I think that's dangerous, but my daughter did it last year.
It really is. But it's like kids love that, it there. You know what I'm saying? And they're making, and I love how they take all the vegetables and like the turnips, and they make like they're dyeing things. It's like it's very educational.
Yep.
Like dyeing like the fabrics and doing the different colors from the vegetables and things like, and making the soaps, the homemade soaps. I love it because I'm all into like the oils and the incenses.
Yeah,
and they like make homemade.
We got to stop. We got to stop talking about it. I'm ready to go back. I'm ready to go.
I'm terrible. Yeah. Let's talk. Yeah. So Hammond.
Okay, Springfield.
What about Tickfall?
Springfield.
I think of 10 Lizzie's. I don't really know. I have family that's from there, and my family that was on my mama's side were like outlaws, and like they were like, oh, you in Springfield, you have some fighters, okay? So it's good that you have family that are from Springfield. Springfield, they have a great school there, great teachers there, very small, a community that definitely stand by each other. I don't really get to Springfield that often, but I have family there. Mm-hmm. And I actually went to Holden High School for 1 year. Yeah. So I know Holden, the Rockettes, and it's a little small town too, but very close knit Hungarian. I went to like a little Hungarian church in that area, and so it's just really really a little quaint place.
I think that
I know independent.
I think that Springfield made the news years ago during Hurricane Frederick. I think that graveyard right there, when the hurricane came through, those caskets came out the ground in Springfield.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah. Yes.
Floating around town.
That's another thing that people don't realize about Louisiana is that I guess we take it for granted because we have cemetery. People come and like go look at the cemetery tours because we have caskets that are above ground because of the sea level, and it's like they're above ground. They're not like in anything or underground. And so my German exchange student, when he came here, he was like, whoa, he wanted to go there, and he didn't know anything about a snowball. He's like, what is a snowball? Yeah. So he like loves snowballs. So
drive through snowball stands. Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Yes,
every corner.
Stand.
Yep.
Or drive through daiquiri shops.
Oh,
I don't know. Like what? A drive through daiquiri? Yeah.
Nobody believed this here.
Daiquiri shop.
Nobody believed this here when we told them about
and
it.
It's like, I don't understand it, but it is.
I don't know. I don't understand it either
I know.
because my uncle used to drive through with a van full of kids and he'd buy all the kids daiquiris. We're like 11, 12, 13 years old. He's buying everybody daiquiris. I don't understand it either.
Yeah.
But I think
it is. That's true. That's true.
what about Beatico? Because I used to live in Beatico down CC Road.
Beatico. I mean, everybody fishes in Beatico. Everybody. I mean, those are the most down. Everybody you meet from Beatico are just so down the earth. This is so funny because I don't really know much about Beatico. All I know is when I went to my husband's class reunion, a guy came into the class reunion and he didn't have any shoes on, and I was like, "Who is that?" And everybody said, "He's from Beatico."
That's
He's such
Boudreaux.
and such from Beatico. He
That's
doesn't wear
Boudreaux.
shoes, and I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
that's not a Beatico thing, okay?" And they were like, "No, it's just like a good working country boy, and just good people, Beatico." What do you do? What do you do in Beatico? There's a Beatico church I went to once,
Yeah.
and I know that someone that's like that my husband went to high school with, they're from Beatico, but I don't know much about Beatico
Yeah,
either.
that's
I
all there
drive
is.
through there all the time.
Yeah, it's either church or drugs. You got to pick.
It's small.
You pick.
You blink your eye, you're out. Yeah, no in betweens, huh?
Yeah, it's one or the other. You go to church, you do drugs. It's like, I'll go to church, man. Everybody there. 'Cause it's so
Yeah,
weird.
no
It's so weird.
between.
It's like everybody.
Well, at least they're not doing drugs in church.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on. But yeah.
Or if they're doing drugs and they get to church, then it's okay.
Yeah, I've done
They
it.
got there.
I did smoke a lot of weed before I went to the Beatico church to play basketball years ago. I was a teenager
Do you
though.
think it should be legalized? Do you think it should be legalized?
Yeah. See, I mean, if we got alcohol's legal, totally,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna legalize alcohol, then
I agree.
why not?
Yeah, I get it.
Have you ever
I
been to the
agree.
boat parade in
I think what the problem is with us,
Mandeville?
Madisonville.
Madisonville. Yeah.
Oh yes, and they have one. They actually have a place that they show you how, like they have different boats that have made. It's called something boat museum, and they have weddings there. But the Madisonville boat parade is so much fun. I actually like going there even more so than going to Mardi Gras for that boat parade.
Yep.
And then they have like all the different little seafood restaurants in Madisonville, and I like Madisonville, but Madisonville's gotten to be so expensive to live. It's an expensive little area, but it's
nice, though.
really nice. They have a beautiful like library there. Museum. Yeah, I like Madisonville. I do. The boat parades. That's the only thing I can think of is the boat parade.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember going when I was a kid, and then we moved away, and so I wanted my wife and daughter to go, so we just made the trip, got with my family, and went down there just for the boat parade from Alabama. Just went to the boat parade. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do. I love the boat parade, and then they have like a. I like they have the pet parade from Mardi. Do you ever get down here from Mardi Gras at all? Because there's a lot of kid things that you can go do that's not like city. That
We just did the Madisonville thing.
That's really nice. My youngest daughter was a Saints cheerleader for 4 years, so we're still big Saints fans.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. And then Independence. What about Independence? You ever been to Independence?
Yeah, I go there a lot. I actually deliver.
They have like the Italian festival there.
Yeah. It's kind of secluded. A lot of woods. Highway. What is it? Highway 55 runs through there. 50. Is it 55?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever been to our dance studios in Franklinton? Have you ever been to Franklinton, the Washington Parish Fair?
I haven't. I haven't been.
That's something you need to come down and bring your child to, because that's a huge. It's big. It's big, and it's they get a lot of great bands. They get a lot of great entertainment, and they're known for their watermelon. And it's like an old timey. And their fair is stationary too. It's not like a normal fair. It's an old fashioned fair, but that's an interesting thing to go do. They let you eat sugar cane and do all the old fashioned things back in the day of spinning cotton and all kinds of. So if you like the Renaissance Festival, you would like the Washington Parish Fair.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it was so much fun speaking with you, Marguerite. Awesome catching up with you. Thanks so much for coming on, hanging out with me.
Don't be such a stranger.
Oh, I won't. I got your number now, so next time we're in town, I'll text you. Maybe we'll go out to
Hey,
eat or something.
hey, I'm putting you on my list. Yes, I'm gonna tell my husband, hey, I like the way this guy talks. I like his voice. You're gonna have to come and do my obituary one day. Had to talk at my funeral. Say, I knew that crazy woman then. Over the
Yeah.
years, anyway. Well, it was so nice seeing you. I didn't know you were doing this. I think this is really good. How
Yeah,
long you
it's
been doing
fun.
this?
I've been doing this off and on probably since 2011, but I'm just starting to stay consistent with it the last probably 6 months now. Just consistent every week,
Yeah.
just making sure I do it. Yeah.
I should have like sent out a thing and told him I was doing this because you would have I had to like tag it because I didn't get to tag it. But I kind of like I was like I don't know what he's gonna do. He might put me on the spot and
I
say
know
something
you have
ridiculous.
you
I
have
don't know if I
yeah,
want
you don't
to
even know who
go
these
on
people
there.
are. I'm sure
I
I'm
didn't know
sure I'm
that
sure
was
you're probably
you.
nervous. Yeah, I'm sure you're probably nervous wondering
I
what they're
didn't
gonna
in a
talk
while.
about and
I mean,
yeah.
there's been a couple things that came up that I wanted to do. Yeah, and I felt so bad because I forgot about the time and the date thing, and when I saw that on your thing saying, "Oh, she didn't show," I'm like, "Oh no, I got to fix this."
Oh,
But
there
I
was a
didn't know it
bunch of
was you
people
either.
ready, man.
I
I
wouldn't have
know.
done. I wouldn't have done that. I was like, the studio is like really just like had me swamped.
Yeah.
But anyways, I hate that. I really hate that. I'm like, oh, please tell them I'm sorry. I got to make good at this. So
Yeah, we made it
um,
happen.
anyways, I'll we got to do it. We got to do this again. Do
Definitely.
something fun, something soon. But
Yeah.
anyways, you look great. You look good.
You do
Great,
too.
really. You look good.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't know about all that, boy, but we're hanging in there. I'm holding my weight, that's for sure. Next time you see me, maybe I'll be 110 pounds and I'll look like Demi Moore.
There you
Hey,
go.
who knows? I need to do something. I keep saying I'm gonna get online and go public and say, okay, I'm starting this diet, and maybe it'll make me be accountable. But it ain't happened yet. I am not motivated. Okay.
Man, we're just talking about
All this talk,
all this food.
all it made me do is want to go eat ho and some daiquiri and a little bit of
Bootsies.
everything. So anyway.
We'll
It
do
was
it.
good
Yeah.
seeing you. Thank you for remembering me. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Renaissance Festival.
All right, my
I'm
friend.
being serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
Bye.
All right, Marguerite.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Marguerite Perrin, ladies and gentlemen. It was awesome. Like I said, I had the chance to meet her, and we hung out with some friends over there for a full day at her house, and it was fun, man. Cool person, down to earth. Because I'm thinking that we're gonna have like this discussion with this religious zealot, religious fanatic. They're gonna quote Bible scriptures and put us in the corner, and well, the Bible says this and the Bible says that, but it was fun hanging out with her. She's really down to earth person, man. And it just shows you though, like the whole trading spouses, her breakdown and her blow up. It just shows you that like when a person's pushed to the edge, man, and you just go in that fight or flight mode, and just being pushed and pushed and pushed, and she just finally couldn't take it anymore. She finally blew up, and it's awesome that she's such a good sport about it. All the memes and everybody making fun and things like that on the internet. It's cool that she still has her sanity. She's still able to function and in life, and she, what I'm saying, she has a good life. She's enjoying her life. That's so awesome, man. So I'm definitely gonna hang out with her whenever the next time I go to Louisiana. I go there pretty often, so we're definitely gonna get up and I may go live on Facebook with her hanging out. Who knows? But you guys got to hear some history of Louisiana and where I'm from, Ponchatoula, Hammond, Beatico, that whole area. Definitely, all those things we talked about are like amazing, man. It's what makes that area. That's what it's known for, man. Like people who are listening, like all over the world, and down here in the South, man, it's different, man. There's nothing like it. The Southern hospitality, the food is out of this world. Like you said, in the middle of Ponchatoula, there's a big cage with an alligator in it. And tourists come to get out the cage and go look at the alligator. He's in a cage. Ever since I was a little kid, we were sitting there looking at. This is what you did. Your parents take you to go see the alligator, and it's just insane. It's just totally different. So, if you guys get a chance, definitely go to the Renaissance Festival. I tell all my friends every time they post on Facebook and stuff that they're going to the one over here in Mobile because there's one where they rent the fairgrounds out. I say, look, man, don't go to that one. You got to take the trip. It's a 2-hour drive from Mobile. Take the 2-hour drive and go. It's like you stepping into another world. Like, those people live for that stuff. It's awesome. So, man, definitely check that out if you guys are in the area at all. So, thank you everybody for supporting. Thank you everybody for hanging out. And like I said, I love to talk to interesting people, and we just had an awesome interview or just conversation, man, with an interesting person, man. Somebody who's sweet and really fun. Her family, her husband's really cool. Me and him hung out the whole time too over at the house and all that good stuff. He was there. I don't know if you guys seen him, but he come over there at the beginning, Barry. So thanks to everybody for holding us down. Everybody who supports the show month to month via Patreon, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. If you want to support the show and get rewards, you can get perks, you can get unreleased music, extra podcasts, things like this. We got so much stuff that we're releasing on the Patreon page. So go to patreon.com/truthseeker. And for any amount a month that you want to give, you can sign up for $1, $10, $25, $5, whatever you want to give to help us support and run the show, man. It would mean the world for you guys to do that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for doing that. Thanks everybody for hanging out in the chat room. Chat room's open and right now on YouTube. So thanks everybody for that. New t-shirts are coming out. I just finally found a manufacturer who will print the t-shirts as they're ordered, somebody who's not going to charge an arm and a leg for it. So go to my Facebook, go to my website, truthseeker.com, and we should have t-shirts available now. So the classic LCOB Seek Truth t-shirt is on there. I'm trying to find my design for the Golden Teachers t-shirt. I've got the Jesus Higher Consciousness Stoned Ape Theory shirt. I think I'm going to put a black version of that up there. And just a whole bunch of more cool stuff now. I'm able to get these designs and print them now. So it's going to be awesome. So thanks everybody for all the love, all the support. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and on Android. I always say Amazon for some reason. At the end of the show, I always say subscribe on Amazon, but it's Android. I'll get it eventually. So check us out there. Shalom, shalom. Thanks for all the love and all the support. It really means a lot. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. Peace, peace.
Your way so much higher than mine, so much higher than mine. Your so much deeper than mine, so much deeper than mine.
Well, that does it for this episode, folks. To hear more episodes of the Truth Seeker podcast, head over to truthseeker.com. And if you're wanting to support the show and get rewards, go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/truthseeker.